What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Cyhadow, where we talk all things anime, comics, and everything in between. And we got the everything in between part going for today. If y'all don't know about this poster here, this one here, I think I zoomed in for it. I don't know. But we are talking about a non-anime, I know. And it's not even comic book. I mean, it has its own comic series, but it's not like DC or Marvel, so I don't know where we're gonna rank. Mainly, we are talking about Avatar, and I'm not talking about the Avatar specifically. We are talking about bending abilities. For those who don't know what Avatar is, basically the Avatar is somebody who can bend all four elements. Now, here's the thing though. There are four main elements. There's a fifth one, but we're not gonna count that one because, well, there's two ways you can learn it. Either your past reincarnations, which Korra kind of screw for the future generations of Avatar, or a lion turtle. And I think it's harder to find a lion turtle, but the new Avatar is gonna have to find gonna have to figure something out. We're gonna go over the four main bending abilities today, and I'm going to, at the end, I'm gonna tell you what bending ability I'm going to choose. Now, I will say this, there are sub bending abilities. So the first one, in my personal opinion, that's kind of cool, but is also kind of at the same time, is earth bending. Earth bending, in my personal opinion, is actually a cool bending ability. You get to bend and manipulate the earth that you stand on. The only problem with that is you have to have earth. So you're kind of really limited to if you're in the middle of the ocean or if you're flying in the air. If there's no earth for you to bend, you're basically a sitting duck. Like, there's nothing you can fucking do. With earth bending, you can do some crazy shit. You can basically have it to where you can manipulate stone, make mud, do phase shifting, which we'll get into in a second. Also, with earth bending, it comes as sub bending abilities. With earth bending specifically, you can manipulate minerals, as in like rocks and stones and diamonds, crystals, you know, that type of stuff, which can obviously affect, you know, durability and all that stuff. Thanks to Toph Beifong, she discovered metal bending, unless it's like platinum or pure metals, you know, that have no fragments of earth in it. The only thing with metal bending is it has to have pieces of earth in it, so it has to be impure metals. Not only that, but you could also do sand bending if you do ending up have it to where you know, do earth bending, but those are, I wouldn't say those are sub bending abilities. I'd say most likely, you know, metal bending and also lava bending. Lava bending is a sub bending of earth bending and is basically in its phase shifting, which ending up changes from a solid to a liquid, but it's a molten hot liquid that don't, if you touch it, you're fucked. Earth bending, very dangerous. Would I choose it? Not really, mainly because, like I said, if you don't have any earth around you, you're fucked. But there is one thing though, Toph Beifong, when it comes to earth bending, she was able to learn seismic sense because A, she's blind, and B, she learned it to see, but she learned it from the badger moles. Not only did she do that, but she also taught it to her daughters. So seismic sense is actually a cool bending ability within earth bending. So I don't know how that would fare with the other elements, you know, if you can use it with other elements, but you know, there's that. Moving on to another bending ability that I think is cool, but I'm questionable if I want it or not, is air bending. I was about to say earth bending, but earth bending is not a real thing, so it's air bending. Air bending is, well, obviously the ability to manipulate and control air. So you can make gust of winds, tornadoes, do whatever the fuck you want with air. Pull as the here. Air bending sub bending abilities is kind of a little iffy because when it comes to their sub bending abilities, it's most likely derived from, you know, being spiritual and all that stuff. So you got, you know, access to enter the spirit world, spiritual astral projection, or whatever the fuck it is, I don't really know, and flight. Only problem with flight is that flight, you have to let go of your earthly tethers. Shout out Guru Lahima. Once you do access the ability of flight, you're basically unstoppable, you know. So there's that. The only thing with that is that you can manipulate in, like, you know, stuff like, you know, the clouds, you know, and, you know, maybe you can control certain things, but the main things what we do know when it comes to airbending is that you can manipulate air. That's really it. You know, and there's spiritual stuff, but you know, mainly it's air. And next up we have firebending. Now firebending is a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more cooler than the other two, but every, you know, action has this equal opposite reaction. So air and earth, you know, they're opposites, and fire is the opposite of water, which we'll cover next. Firebending is a lot more dangerous than any other bending ability, mainly when it comes to firebending. Obviously you have fire bending abilities, but you also have very dangerous abilities. I pray for anybody that's a villain and that villain is a firebender. I'm gonna be for real with you. Basically with firebending, you can control the heat of your flames, if that makes sense. You know, think of Zula, how she has blue flames while everybody else has regular like yellow, red flames, you know, shit like that. You can control the intensity of the flames. Not only that, but you could generate and redirect lightning if you're a firebender. Not only that, but if you happen to be lucky and gain a third eye on your fucking forehead, because you discovered that if you have an explosive ability within your firebending nature, you gain combustion bending. Combustion bending is something that I fear, because if you get hit with it, you are done. But we say the best one for last, which is technically the most dangerous bending ability, even above fire and air bending, of water bending. When it comes to water bending, you obviously bend water, but water benders have a natural affinity to phase shifting and making ice and controlling that ice. I don't know what ice manipulation is, but you can control both water and ice. Now granted, there is a weakness when it comes to water bending, which is basically, well, you have to carry water around you. But if you're like Hama or Katara and you're a skilled enough waterbender, you can literally just pull water out of thin fucking air and you're fine. You don't gotta worry about lugging around giant things of water around, or you don't gotta worry about like luring your opponent to a fucking pond in order to beat their ass. You can literally just spawn the water out of thin air, because water is literally in the air if we really do think about it. Other than that, basically when it comes to water bending is you can manipulate plants, if you know, like the swamp people, but you could also have it to where you could heal. Not only could you only heal, but you could also blood bending. That's why I say water bending could be the most dangerous bending ability there is, because if you could blood bend, you have the ability, if you train hard enough, to block people's chi paths and cut their bending ability off using blood bending. And the only way to get it back is if you energy bend. So like there's that. But mainly water bending, there's no limit to what you can do. Like if you're a water bender, you can do blood bending, plant bending, ice, water. I'm pretty sure you can manipulate steam. Like you can do and healing. You can do so much with water bending. It's literally like if you run into a water bender, you're fucked. Especially a skilled one with knowledge. Like imagine Batman as a water bender. You know how fucking dangerous that is? But since it's that time in the video, I've gone over every single bending ability. What bending ability would I choose? And truthfully, I'm gonna be for real with you. It's really a tie between water bending and fire bending, but most likely I would choose water bending, because you know all the niggas are up in the North Pole, so we finna get lit. But anyway, but mainly I am gonna choose water bending, not because of the abilities that you can have with other, you know, just being a water bender, like the blood bending, the healing, the plant bending, the ice and water bending in general. Is mainly because of the healing. Like you have a build, like with water bending, you're a healer. You can learn to be a healer as a waterbender. So like literally, like just think about it. You get shot in the arm. Oh crap, I got shot in the arm. Water bending. Heal. Like it seriously, it's that fucking simple. Now, I know some of y'all are looking at me like, but yeah, well like fire bending, you can literally like shoot beams at your fucking forehead. Yeah, but if you get hit in the forehead, or if you had that bitch cover your entire head covered, you either blow yourself up or you just blow yourself up. And plus, if you really do think about it, waterbenders are more powerful during the night times and full moons. Now granted, firebenders are actually more powerful during the daytime. This is why I said if Batman was a waterbender, Batman a waterbender, he fights at night, everybody's fucked. equinox. The only time they're weak is a lunar eclipse. But how many times do we see or know about a lunar eclipse happening? You don't know. But you know, yeah, that's it. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I really hope y'all enjoyed, and yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.